all gold. This has been in the shade quite a bit, so it's a little bit greener than it ordinarily would be. The ideal situation for this would be morning sun and afternoon shade. And then it has this wonderful lime green foliage. It gets about, maybe a foot tall and eventually about 3 feet around. That's after about 4 or 5 years. So it's a stunning accent. Looks a lot like bamboo leaves. That's also an underground spreader, but so slow. So, don't even worry about it taking over. Okay, the next thing, let's talk about the miscanthus. Now, I know a lot of you are afraid about miscanthus taking over, but what I have to tell you is there are so many smaller varieties now that are very fine leafed and only get about 4 feet tall. And they're so interesting because all of them have different fall colors. Some of them are very golden, like this one with the darker inflorescence. And this is a taller one. This particular one is Arabesque. It's a little taller, actually. It's only about 5 feet tall. This is one that a lot of landscapers use because it stays so in bounds. It's upright, it has a very nice color and great fall color. This one also is a little bit taller one, not huge by any means, but it's smaller. This one is called Little Fountain Grass, Fine Fontaine, and it has very fine foliage. You might be familiar with Gross Fontaine. It's the taller one. This is very, very small. And the smaller miscanthus do very well in containers. Okay, this is silverfeather. Somebody mentioned that they had silverfeather in their yard tonight. This is a beautiful inflorescence. It's real silvery and it's almost one-sided when it comes out. It's a little bit different form than most of them. If it is a little bit taller one, it'll get about 6 to 7 feet tall. Now this is one that I've yet to see in the trade anywhere. This is called Zwar Zebra. And you can't see it now because it's turned this wonderful butterscotch color, but it is banded. Oh, I guess you can see it right here. It does have some banding on it like a zebra grass, but it's so much better than the old zebra grass. It's very short, within bounds, and has this great wide foliage. It looks terrific when it's banded. Another tall one that I love this one. This is called Positano. It has this the purple stems on it, which really stand out in the fall. This planted out in the yard with other things right now is just a complete knockout. About 7 to 8 feet tall now. Coloration is beautiful. Now, if I were going to choose just one small miscanthus for great fall color, this would be it. This is Huron Sunrise. And it's about 3 to 4 feet tall, depending on how much water it gets. It has these great, fluffy, big inflorescence for a small miscanthus and phenomenal fall color.
Repeat that name.
Oh, excuse me, yes.
Would you repeat the name, please?
Repeat the name. Huron Sunrise.
And what was the one before?
That was Zwar Zebra. It's Z-W-E-R-Z-E-B-R-A. That was it, right? One before. Oh, Positano, excuse me. That was the tall one, Positano. Okay, somebody else mentioned that their favorite grass was Gracillimus. They have them in their yard. And Gracillimus is great, except that it doesn't bloom until now. My Gracillimus are just barely starting to bloom, and they have gorgeous red feathers are already going. But this is Gracillimus nana, and so it's a very fine foliage, shorter grass, and blooms much earlier than the regular Gracillimus.
They're much smaller.
Yeah, smaller. Okay, this one I am just so excited about. This is a zebra grass that I could really love. It's called Little Zebra. It's a new patented variety. Only gets 4 feet tall. It comes up banded, which is really unusual because most of the banded varieties need heat to become banded. This one comes up this way. And it's very delicate, very fine foliage. It's very upright, 4 feet tall, and then the ends of the grass just bend over ever so slightly. And the inflorescences are late. They're just, maybe they've been on for 3 weeks now, but they're very, very purple. I mean, just a great purple color. So if you want a small miscanthus, this is wonderful and terrific in pots. Okay, this is buttonwonder. This is a little bit past its fall glory, but it was beautiful. It also has the purple stems on it. Buttonwonder is not quite as tall as Positano, so if you want something a little bit smaller with that great purple stem, that's a good variety, buttonwonder. And then this one this is called a ribbon leaf, not ribbon grass. This is Cabaret. And it's got a sister by the name of Cosmopolitan, and the difference is in the variegation. The Cabaret has green edges with a white center, and the Cosmopolitan has white edges with a green center. They both grow about 7 feet tall. They're wonderful specimen plants because the foliage is magnificent. They bloom about now too with bright red inflorescences that are gorgeous. But their claim to fame is their foliage and the fact that they're very upright. They just do not flop even though they're tall.
Do you carry Cosmopolitan?
Do I carry it? Yes. Okay, let's go on to the Molinias then. This is a great plant pick for the Northwest. This is Molinia variegata. It has absolutely wonderful foliage. It is variegated so beautifully. You can grow this in the shade, but this plant always looks, well, it turns tan in the fall, but all summer long it looks the same. It's the same height. It's just perfection. And then in the middle of the summer, these inflorescences come up and they're very gold, so they're striking in the shade. And the little inflorescences actually are black when they first come out, and then they fade to the tan color. But a very, this one is Molinia variegata. And another Molinia that we have just done so well with this year is Strahlenquell. Now, Molinias, the Molinias I'm going to show you now are very vase-shaped, very upright. And this was so beautiful about 2 weeks ago. The stems were sort of a coral color. It looked just like autumn. It was absolutely wonderful. But it maintains this wonderful butterscotch color with a very light, fluffy inflorescence. This gets 4.5 feet tall.
Say the name of that again.
It's a tough one. Strahlenquell. Strahlenquelle. Strahlenquell. But there are several other like that. There's Moorhex that's just a little bit shorter than Strahlenquell, and then Moor Flame, which is a little bit shorter than Moorhex. So you can go from 4 feet up to 7 or 8 feet, which is this one. This is Sky Racer. And it's so beautiful because the foliage is quite short, it's kind of moundy. But then you have these wonderful inflorescences that just shoot up to the sky, blow in the slightest breeze. If you're at the Oregon Garden, they oh my gosh, sorry, you told me to turn my phone off. At the Oregon Garden, we have a lot of this in drifts, and they're along the path, but up higher than you are, so when you look up, you almost get hypnotized by the movement of this particular grass. They also use this in pots frequently on either end of benches, so you can sit there and have the grasses just blow around you. It's very effective, a wonderful grass. And the nice thing is, sort of like a negligee, that you can see through it. You can even put it in the front of the border and see through it to what's behind it. So it makes a lot of interest in the front.
She has a garden bed she calls her negligee bed.
It's all my see-through.
And I keep going out there.
It's not nearly as exciting.
But it might be someday.